Welcome to another exciting episode of The Issues on Voice of the People TV, where we bring you the most important and present issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry Arpeloi. Today on the show, we are tackling the tough topics that matter most to Nigerians, from the 10th National Assembly's controversial handling of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension to Rotimi Amaechi's warning against re-electing President Bola Tinubu in 2027, and the ADC's Bolaji Abdullahi's claim that PDP was built to govern, not play opposition. We'll dive into it all. Let's get straight to the point. Our top stories today were human rights advocate Precious Oruche's criticism of the 10th National Assembly, Rotimi Amaechi's warning on Tinubu's 2027 prospects, and ADC's Bolaji Abdullahi's comment on PDP's role in Nigerian politics. Stay tuned as we break down these pressing issues and more. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. Human rights advocate Precious Oruche has criticized the 10th National Assembly, describing it as one of the worst in Nigeria's democratic history. Oruche cited the ongoing saga involving Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, who was suspended for 6 months, as an example of the Assembly's disregard for the Constitution and disobedience to court orders. Oruche argued that the Senate refusal to honor a court judgment calling for Akpoti-Uduaghan's recall is a flagrant abuse of power. She emphasized that the Nigerian Constitution clearly states that all court decisions are binding and must be respected by everyone, including the Senate. Oruche also criticized the Senate's stance on the matter, saying that lawmakers are now lawbreakers. Akpoti-Uduaghan was suspended for alleged breach of Senate rules after accusing Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment and abuse of office. Despite the suspension, Akpoti-Uduaghan has attempted to resume her duties, citing a court order. The Senate, however, has maintained that there is no enforceable court order mandating a recall before the suspension expires. All right, today I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests here in the studio. We have Dr. Peter Adosike. Dr. Adosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Actually, is Emperor Jackson Ojo, public affairs analyst, also a security expert and executive protection specialist. Great to have you join us on the issues.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right, I will start with you, Emperor Jackson Ojo. What does it say about the state of Nigeria's democracy when the Senate openly defies a court order? And what precedent does that set for other institutions?
I am not surprised anyway. If the 10th Senate does anything good, if they do anything positive, meaningful, that is when I will be surprised. What was the emergence of the leadership of the Senate? Is it the way it's supposed to emerge? It's supposed to be the total decision of the National Assembly, that the upper chamber. But it's only Mr. President that has zoned it to the South and microzone it to Akpabio. And since that time, what do you think it has looked like when you talk of principle of check and balances? Some that are supposed to pass first reading, second reading, third reading may not even pass through the first reading before it is adopted and signed and approved. So this is a lawless Senate operating under a lawless executive. So I'm not surprised at all. The only thing is that Akpabio himself is even a lawyer. And we have numbers of senior advocates of Nigeria, among them in the National Assembly. But because they have seen that lawlessness means nothing in Nigeria, so they can be lawless. So it's not their fault at all. The system is very weak. The system is very porous. The system is sadistic. The system is satanic. The system is luciferic. So with all this, what do you expect? Expecting anything meaningful and positive from this system? No. I'm not expecting anything positive or meaningful from this system.
Wow. Quite a nail on the head of the National Assembly. The National Assembly Senate Committee head of media and publicity said that they are not actors. Talking about the senators, they are not actors, that they are there for serious business. They also termed Akpoti Dragon's stunt of trying to sit at the National Assembly as skit making. What do you make of the back and forth, the Senate, all against one woman?
For me, just like Emperor Jackson said, that's a friend of mine, that's an ex-Aredo from, he's from this Tom Ikimi, that's area of Edo State. So one day he said that he was in his house from morning till around 2, and the electricity is still on. He called the NEPA manager. Excuse me, is there any problem? The NEPA manager says, sir, what do you mean? Say, my light is still on no, since morning. Understand me? So, you know, to him it is unusual. So we have a kindergarten senate. That is the best word I will use to describe the Nigerian Senate, a kindergarten. They're not even up to a nursery. Understand me? The last time, so saying that this is one of the best is even a kind of glorifying them. They are the worst Senate that we have had since 1960. So what is happening that is not a surprise to me, because Tinubu, as a so-called master strategist, know that the people that can work for him are people who has who has swords dangling on their heads. Understand me? Like Akpabio. Understand? A compromise, nobody can be as loyal as a compromised person. Understand me? So Akpabio, with the 6 EFCC cases that's on his head, must be as loyal as a newborn baby. Understand me? So do the Senate leader Bamidele from Osun State was Tinubu's boy when Tinubu was a governor here. So now, when you talk of a rubber stamp, this is worse than a rubber stamp. And I know that Senate has its own rules, but no rule in the country is superior to the Constitution. And it is the courts that interpret these rules. So for the Senate to, and you cannot go against any rule unless you have vacated it. So for them to fail to obey a court decision shows them as an honest kind of people. And I don't even expect anything other than what we are seeing now, because we are no more running a democracy in the country. This is autocracy. It is autocracy that we are running. And in autocracy, autocrats are not law abiding.
Autocrats are not law abiding, coming from Dr. Anasikide. Let me go to Emperor Jackson. Dr. Anasikide made something very interesting point of view. We're taking a look at those who are around this government. And he made mention of the Senate president having, was it the dagger on his head and so on and so forth, having various court cases. Let's not forget the past, just immediate past chairman of the APC. Of course, we've seen even ministers who have been involved in one questionable past or the other. They sit around the president and they enjoy appointment. What is this show of bringing people with questionable past or characters around juicy positions? Is this a clear statement that you could be a cedar but go and see no more? All of a sudden, you're back in business of running the government again. Is it that we are not learning from the past, or is it that the body language of this government that they don't care whatever the people think about those who occupy the various positions? They just put them there and don't care what the outcome is and what the people will feel about this.
We should not be surprised. I'm very happy with what Dr. Dia said. I just said. You see, there is nobody that can be loyal to you than somebody that you know is secret. And when you show any sign of disloyalty, that you can use the knife in your hand to cut him to pieces. There's nobody that can be loyal to you than somebody that have a rope on his neck and you are the one holding that rope. So whatever you tell him to do, he will do. He will even do worse than you expect him to do. Just because if you show any loyalty, you will just move ahead and draw the rope. And you will be suffocated to death, and he does not want to die. Just like my elder there said with you, when Akpabio has problem with the FCC, and based on that one, he was forced to decamp from a minority leader of the Senate to become an ordinary member, and he lost the election despite the fact that they rigged that election for him, but it was too open. So somebody like that, he became minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, and as a minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, you saw a lot of probe they did. You saw a lot of allegations upon allegations against him. Where is the result of that probe that they spent billions to execute? Till today, nothing. He was interrogated on the floor of the Senate, and you saw what happened. So somebody like that, ordinarily in a normal line, is not supposed to be seen in any level of governance again. But in Nigeria, I think bad doings in Nigeria, instead of deterrent, instead of punishment, I think is elevation. So far you can continue to do the bad thing for the people in power, you will remain relevant. But your mouth will remain sealed. So there is nothing. If Akpabio want to do the right thing today, EFCC, you know, he has no immunity. EFCC will just sweep on him. A professor that helped him rig election is in prison now. And the person he rigged the election for is still presiding over the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So Akpabio has rope on his neck, and Tinubu is the one holding that rope. So if you do anything against Tinubu's will, Tinubu will pull the rope and Akpabio will be suffocated. And he does not want to be suffocated. That is why he has to be loyal. We are going to experience this for the next 2 years. Except the people in the Senate, maybe some of them could wake up. How is Akpabio treating his members? The co-senators, distinguished senators. What is the difference between a distinguished senator and Senate president? Senate president is just first among the equal. But if anybody want to talk to the people that are representing their senatorial districts, some of these senatorial districts, some of them have 9 local government, some 10 local government. But if they want to talk in representation of their district on the floor, Akpabio will shout them down, and they can't do anything. Before you know what is happening, suspension. Aliu Dume has gone on suspension for trying to speak the truth.
Yeah,
Abdul has gone on suspension because he was trying to speak the truth.
Yes.
What was the name? Natasha Akpoti was trying to speak the truth. She's on suspension. So that is it. This is the worst in the political history of Nigeria. This is the worst Senate president, and this is the worst Senate.
All right. By the way to look at it. Let's look at this situation, Dr. Aleski. How can lawmakers retain moral authority when they are seen to break the very laws they swore to uphold? Isn't this a direct betrayal of public trust?
That is exactly what it is. And okay, and the question is, how did these people emerge? How did they emerge? How did they assume the various positions and seats that they are occupying? I know that angels cannot be on a ballot box. Saints don't stand for election, but there must be integrity. There must be integrity. Even Aton Zeribe said, even among thieves, there should be honor. Because the Bible said that a house divided against itself cannot stand. So are the people that are, how are these people getting into these positions? Because before you become a candidate, you have to be an aspirant. And INEC, you submit your details to INEC for them to I will use that word, investigate, to make sure that you are a credible person. There was a former, I have forgotten this one senator that said that some of the people sitting in the Senate, he was a former DIG of police or AIG of police.
Okay.
He said that some of his fellow senators were in his cell back in the days. Do you understand that? That some of the senators there were in his cell back in the days, which means INEC did not do their
diligence.
Understand me?
Okay.
Understand? Because that's why those things can go through. This Benjamin Kano of a guy, when he was going, the current deputy speaker,
Yes.
when he was, when somebody took him that to court in Abia North, understand me? He had his certificate had 7 different names. 7 different names.
Wow.
Understand? How can you be changing names? For me, it wasn't him that was taking those exams. Period. It was not him that is taking this. And if INEC is really doing their job, that is enough to disqualify him. So, but we are in a very corrupt system that you give them money, they will look at all these things. That's why all these people are getting into these positions. And imagine when a thief is representing you. Understand? He will steal all that is meant for you. So that's where how we are. And again, these people are accepting 5,000 naira for 4 years. When a candidate comes and gives you 5,000 naira or give you that's a fork, that's a 1/4 of a bag of rice, and you take.
Some of them even get 1 cup of rice. Yeah.
So how did they emerge? There were no credibility in their emergence. Understand? And as Peter B said, the process through which somebody emerges is more important than even the job that is going to do there.
Sure. But what's the fate of Akpoti Uduaghan in this whole matter? Because she is at the receiving end, and it looks like there's a gang up to not to make a comeback.
Akpabio is not. I mean, Akpoti is not at the receiving end. We shouldn't.
She's not the victim here.
Misunderstand this.
Okay.
Akpoti is not at the receiving end. It is the Kogi Central that is at the receiving end.
Our constituents.
Because the people have been denied of a voice.
Yeah, representation.
They have been denied of representation.
Yes.
So what bills that she would have passed in their favor have been stopped. She was pursuing the Ajokuta still.
Yes.
And that one has been swept under the carpet. Ajokuta has been there since the 70s or even 80s. This is what she was talking about. Let us revisit this structure. Let us revive it. Now it has stopped. So she's not this thing goes beyond him. Understand me? This thing goes beyond him. It's like when you arrest a father and put him in detention. It's going to affect the children because the father is the breadwinner.
Definitely.
So this thing goes beyond what it is the people of Kogi Central in particular and Kogi State in general that is suffering this.
All right. Okay. Let me take this to Emperor Jackson before we leave this conversation. Given the nature of the allegations, including sexual harassment, do you believe this suspension is politically and personally retaliatory? And what message does that send to women in politics?
See, when it comes to Nigeria women in politics, I never have sympathy for Nigeria women. I never respect Nigeria women when it comes to issue of politics. Why am I saying this? Among the women, few women in the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, how many of them rose up, stood tall in defense of Natasha Akpoti, one of their own? None of them. And that is the reason why you see now that they are trying to victimize another one now. On a television program recently, one of the spokesperson of a particular person in government was calling her openly Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, wife of somebody, mother of some persons, calling her accidental senator. You see, women in politics, they are still in support, they still have more sympathy for the men. And they have hatred and jealousy for women. Let me tell you one of the reasons why I say I don't have sympathy for them. There is a lady, a woman called Madam Sarah Jubri from Kwara State. This woman has contested presidency of this country several times. The last time she attempted on the platform of PDP, on the podium, the day of the primary in Abuja, more than 100 women follow her to the podium, shouting, "Women, oh yeah, women, oh yeah." At the end, and those women are also delegates. At the end of the election, Madam Sarah Jubri had only 1 vote. So the 100 women that were shouting, "Women, oh yeah, hela," to the podium, where were they? They voted for men. So the women in the National Assembly, they are after Akpabio giving them appointment. That is what they are looking for. Juicy appointment. They are not after having sympathy, standing tall in favor of one of their own. So women, particularly Nigerian women in politics, they will always support the men instead of supporting one of their own. So I don't have any sympathy for them. This woman is on her own in the Senate. She has no woman supporter. Since all this while, those people that have been following her everywhere, they are not senators. The other women senators kept their mouth shut so that they will not hit them with iron rod again, the way they hit
All right, talking about the fear of falling victim, everybody protecting themselves as against.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, definitely it's quite more key waters out there in the Senate. Some will say it's the sex poll, but it is what it is. Dissenting voices are not even tolerated in a Senate, which is supposed not to be. Everything doesn't have to be yes. That means there should not be a situation where people should be casting the vote for bills or so on and so forth. It's supposed to be a house that encourages dissenting voices, people who are on the nay. But it looks like the yay will always have it since this Senate came on board. But let's talk about former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has warned Nigerians against voting for President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election. Amaechi stated that if Tinubu wins his second term, Nigerians will be dead and buried due to the economic hardship they are facing. He made this statement while addressing members of the African Democratic Congress ADC coalition in Rivers State. Amaechi also lamented the practice of rewriting election results in Rivers State, which he said discourages voters from participating in the electoral process. He charged ADC members to encourage people to come out and vote for a change in government, warning that if Tinubu wins a second term, Nigerians will suffer more. The former governor's statement comes amid growing criticism of President Bola Tinubu's administration, with many Nigerians expressing dissatisfaction with the current economic situation. Amaechi's warning is seen as a call to action for Nigerians to seek a change in government in 2027. Dr. Anosike, Amaechi claims Nigerians will be dead and buried if Tinubu is re-elected. Is this a genuine alarm about economic collapse or simply a desperate political move from a sideline figure?
The issue is this. I want us to focus on the message.
Not the messenger.
And not the
messenger.
So in 2022, I was telling Nigerians, if you vote wrongly, prepare to suffer. That was my message in 2022. If you use because of ethnicity, if you use because of religion, and if you put ethnicity and religion over competence, you are going to suffer. And that is exactly what is happening now. I remember one Yoruba man that was telling me before all the election that he doesn't like Tinubu, but that Tinubu is his brother. Then how can he leave his brother and begin that to vote for another person? Understand? So that is where we are. And I have asked people, where is Donald Trump constituency? Understand me? Where was Commander Harris this constituency? Understand?
Yes.
So Nigerians are voting mediocre, but ordinarily, I had thought that Buhari's government will be the worst that we have in this country. I was thinking, because one, I know that Buhari is not good in the area of economy
Okay.
because of where he's coming from. Understand me?
Yes.
Up to today, there's no indication that the economy will improve. That's before 2027. Even World Bank and IMF have said that poverty will worsen in Nigeria by 2027. And it is a fact. Today, the Senate approved how many this thing for him.
Billions of dollars.
Billions. Understand?
As loan.
As loan. That should be about 38 trillion naira. That money that is borrowing today is about 38 trillion naira. So for me, there's nothing wrong about borrowing, provided that you are going to use it, you are going to spend it on infrastructure. For 2 terms, DG Buhari's campaign, his intention was that he would be given the president of the country. So, because most Nigerians complain when it is not benefiting them. So that's why he's complaining.
He was an active minister under Buhari's government.
Which active minister?
No, I think he was part of the government. I think that's the way to put it. Yeah.
This guy said that when Amaechi as a minister was asked, why are you not bringing speed trains to Nigeria? He said, no, we don't need a speed train because cows are crossing the red lines or the rail lines, not human beings, but cows are crossing the rail lines. Amaechi valued cows more than human beings. So that's why I said, let us forget about the messenger and focus on the message.
All right, let me go to Emperor Jackson there. Given Amaechi's own role in past administrations and the APC, can he credibly position himself as a champion for change? Or is this just political amnesia?
Well, you see, there is no way anybody can extricate Amaechi from Buhari administration. And at the same time, how do you want to extricate Tinubu from Buhari administration as well? After all, he was the national leader of the party. He was the principal to so many of the ministers. He was the principal to even the vice president. So both Amaechi, both Tinubu, they are all integral part of Buhari administration. What people should be thinking now is not even to pick Buhari, is not even to pick Tinubu, is not even to pick Amaechi out of that. People should be seeing APC as a bunch of failure. People should be seeing APC as a colossal disappointment in the political history of Nigeria. How many times have they changed their slogans? The first time, they came for change. Change from better to worse. The second time, I've forgotten the second time of Buhari, I've forgotten what they changed it to again.
Next level.
To the next level. Next level of insecurity, next level of poverty, next level of criminality, next level of corruption. And now, patiently unknown to Nigerians, they were promising renewed hope. They never knew that they were voting for renewed hopelessness. So, that is what we are facing today in Nigeria. The only area I want to join is with Rotimi Amaechi. Rotimi Amaechi did not paraphrase it very well. Rotimi Amaechi would have been telling Nigerians that if you try this route again, Nigeria will be disappointment, not that Nigeria will be dead. No. Yes. But I know that if Tinubu or APC win second tenure for Tinubu, honestly, the poverty will be multiplied with the power of multiple multiplications. And so many Nigerians will run on their leg to Niger Republic to go and be begging. So many Nigerians will have to go and be doing laborer work in Cameroon. So many of Nigerians will trek to Cotonou to go and be washing car in the airport. I know, because insecurity will continue unabated. Then food insecurity will rear its ugly head in higher capacity, higher degree. Level of what are we talking about education now? You say you are giving student loan. Student loan to me, I think it's a free gift. Because how are they going to pay back? Is it somebody that will graduate, that will end up riding Okada? Somebody that will graduate, that will end up driving keke? Somebody that will graduate, that will end up carrying food for people